Oh.
You need to have everybody sign in.
That's one of the things I told my dad.
Thank you.
He's all expensive. One of these brothers said he had to see them all. Jesse. Oh, he's yours. Yeah.
Oh, look at this, Mr. Dunn. There's a little.
All right, if everybody can find a seat, we have to start the town caucus here. All right, we're gonna open the town caucus. We have 2 supervisor positions open this year. The incumbents are Gordy Anderson and Jesse Casino. We would have 4 places open on the ballot to fill those 2 positions. If we had more than 4 nominations tonight, the electors here would have to vote to get it down to 4. From the amount of people here, I don't think that's gonna happen, but we're gonna open up the caucus to the 2 supervisor positions. Do we have any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Gordon Anderson, please.
Gordon Anderson has been nominated
I'll second.
and seconded. Do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Do we have any more nominations? Yes.
I'll nominate Jesse Casino.
Jesse Casino has been nominated. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It has been seconded. Do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Are there any more nominations for the position of supervisor? Are there any more nominations for the position of supervisor? Any more nominations for supervisor? All right, we're gonna close the caucus and move on to the board meeting. So board members, please come up to the front. All right, we're gonna call the Town of Bell board meeting to order. It's 7:07 PM. Let's do roll call. When I say your name, please signify you're here. Ken Roman. Here. Gordy Anderson.
Here.
Janice Olson.
Here.
Matt Lausrick is here. Mary Beth Tillmans.
Here.
Paul Ellers.
Here.
Jesse Casino.
Here.
Thank you. We can stand and face the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes of the previous board meeting.
I move to accept minutes.
A second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the previous board meeting. During discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. Clerk's report.
It's been a busy month. All the tax forms are going out and being issued. All W-2s are out. Things are going very well. Janice and I did work in the office and did some rearranging and cleaning up. So, been busy.
All right, thank you. The treasurer's report.
I should probably say Natasha was also.
I'll move we approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second the motion.
The motion is made and seconded to accept the treasurer's report. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. No opposed. Board comments?
I've got one, the e-recycling form for the Wisconsin DNR has been submitted, and our company, Com2, is going to arrange to bring us a couple boxes, so we'll start to be able to accept all electronic recycling. We'll get the forms out to the recycle center. I'll get it on the website, so people will know what we can accept and what we can't. So it'll be a significant savings for people. We're gonna charge $5 instead of the 25 we were charging. And it'll be, good for the environment too. The other thing is that there's a weather station up at the airport. And we'll probably, when we get the camera installed, we'll probably link both the weather station and the camera to the town website. So that might be kind of neat to have that too. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Any other board comments?
I'd like to extend a big thank you to Jeff Pitgrass and his company, Altemp, for coming to our rescue on the boiler. And I guess we got a really good deal on it too, so now we got good heat in here.
I agree.
Amen.
All right, any correspondence? Okay. Committee reports? Sanitary district?
Yeah, I'd like to give a brief report. I have made errors in my assumptions concerning the situation at our sanitary district. The haulers were reluctant to share the data of where they were hauling the product from. So finally, the county relented and is sending us copies of the date that the hauler delivers it and where they deliver it. And the way it is as of today, now I don't have everything from December in yet from the county. This one hauler has been hauling in lots of waste from other townships after being told not to and being asked to provide us that information. So when they refused to do, they didn't refuse, they just didn't do it. I went to the county and asked, because I knew they had to submit something to the county monthly of all the tanks they dump, they pump. And so I've got the information from them. I have talked to them, and they think it's been a misunderstanding. That they said, well, we were told we could do it if it was an emergency. And I said, yes, if you would have let the board know it was an emergency, of course we would have allowed that. But just because it was shorter is not an emergency. So they have stated that they are going to stop doing that. But in the meantime, I want to get the records right so I know exactly how much waste is actually being hauled into our lagoon from the town of Bell citizens. So before I proceed, Now, all this means is that it's not as urgent as I have made it out to be, and I apologize for that. I made my assumption based on bad data. However, it seems like every month we get more and more people moving in, so it's a problem that will be there. So I'm gonna try to get some information together, better, accurate information, and we'll try to project it as to when we will actually need this. But in the meantime, I beg your patience until such time as we can make a better presentation and allow the citizens to make a decision. The only thing I know for sure is the damn price keeps going up, and it's gonna be hard to get interest-free loans. So, but I wanna see where the chips really lay, if you will.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, public comment period, and to start that out, we have, is that Donna and Carolyn?
Thank you. We're with the ADRC, the Aging Disability Resource Center. We sponsor the congregate meal here. And first, we want to thank you for letting us have this here. It is an amazing spot to host once a week. What we are here for, two things, just to bring you up to date as to what this center means to this community, as well as Herbster and Port Wayne. If you show that. This is Carolyn Novak. She is the director of our nutrition program for ADRC. And I'll let her go from here. So,
So I just wanted to say that when we first started and when we opened Corning, we had such incredible support. We were offered the center with no rent, and even to offer to purchase some of our supplies or to help us purchase supplies. Judy actually made a whole display out here of senior resources, which no one else has done. But she was very concerned about seniors and wanted to make sure that they knew what was available to them. So she was one of a strong advocate. And then we have this, as far as this site, we have no paid staff here. We have all volunteers here. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I wanted to say thank you to Donna and to Pauline, and they've got a team of site managers. And then also with the volunteers here, this is our biggest volunteer pool in the county, except for Cable, which has a volunteer organization with the Lions Club that delivers meals in that area. But otherwise, this is our biggest site. And I just wanted to read some things to you because I know that, you know, when we come to a town or when we come to an organization and say, well, you know, we're looking for money or we're doing this. I just wanted you to know that there's also people that are working hard. The volunteer hours that they put in for this last year was almost 400. And that has a value of over $13,000. So that's just people putting in time and effort to keep the site open and to keep everything running and to keep it running well. This is a site that people envy. This is a building that people envy. This is really something that other people want to replicate. That's huge. That's huge. There's people that can't keep sites open in the state. They can't keep sites open. Their sites are dying. But this is a thriving community. It's a thriving group of folks. Even if we lose people, we seem to gain others. And so this is kind of, again, it's unheard of. This is a jewel in the state, not just in this area, but the whole state. And it has been shown, we have had it, Donna was fortunate enough and lucky enough, I guess, to be a public speaker and just to highlight some of the things that we're doing up here. And it is a jewel, it's a gem for this whole state of Wisconsin. So thank you for making that possible, as giving us the foundations to do that. We really appreciate that.
we serve 60 and older disabled individuals and volunteers regardless of age. we ask for a $2 to $5 donation, if they can do it. And we do not track who pays what. When they come in, there's a box out here and it's up to that individual person. Why is this so important? I've been working in senior services for a long time, just like her. Senior hunger in our nation is real. There are a lot of people, and all of us in this room can attest to the fact of how things have gone up in cost. Our taxes, our fuel, our food, everything has gone up, okay? And those of us who are on a fixed income, this is detrimental to us. Where do we cut back? Our medicines and our food in order to pay that tax, that property tax or other things. So we fill a gap for people in that regards. We also touch base with everybody every week. We know who might need something, okay? We know, for instance, we had someone who always comes every week and didn't show up when he said he was coming. We sent somebody out to check on them. They had fallen in the home. So that's part of the value of this program for your community. This community has rallied around 15 volunteers plus 4 site managers. We take turns 2 hours a week, 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours a week, to provide a meal. And I've outlined it in this for you, and I won't take your time up, but if you have questions, please feel free to stop me. I think what's most important for you to understand is that you are serving your community by giving us this center. And it is a warm place. And because of the welcome atmosphere here, we have people coming from Port Wing and Herbster every week to eat with us. We've had visitors from Washburn, Cable, and Bayfield wanting to see what we've done here. And so you should be very proud of how you're serving your community here. And we want to thank you. So a couple of things I'd really like to go over. 2025, we had a total serving 50 days for the year. We didn't miss 1 week, okay? We did miss one time in 2022 when the COVID numbers had gotten so high in the community. I got very concerned about the safety of our guests, and that's something that's paramount to us. I've outlined what we do to sanitize and deliver our meals and so forth. So what we did was we bagged it up and met them at the door, masked, and invited them to come and get a takeout. At least they got that meal that day, that week. But we've never had to close the doors since, and we have never had a linked outbreak from this center. So we're very proud of that, and that's hard work on the volunteers' part. We have an average attendance of 22, though we've had as many as 62. And we've had, last year we had over 1,000 meals served. 810 of those are qualified. What does that mean? Well, those are that 60 and disabled and volunteer. The extras are our other guests. We invite our guests to bring their family members, and if they want to come, and a lot of them do during the holidays and stuff, or we have presenters who do different topics for us, and we'll buy them a meal. So that's the difference. In qualified meals is what we get reimbursed for from the state. Our vendor cost was $9,511. This is the vendor who prepares the food in Washburn. It's transported to us in a van by a paid employee from ADRC in heated bags. We get it into the kitchen. This is just such heaven to have this kitchen and keep it warm, because we have to temp it twice, when it's received and before we serve it. It has to meet public health temperatures in order to serve, whether cold or hot. The total number of volunteer hours, as Carolyn mentioned, was almost 400. And based on the federal rate of what a volunteer hour means, we put in over $13,000 worth of volunteer service in just for 2025. We've been here, we opened in fall of 2021 in the midst of COVID, which was a challenge, but it was awesome. It was just great to have people coming. So we're here for a couple of reasons, and I do have some pictures and so forth. This place also acts like a senior center in many regards, the only one in Bayfield County. We do a lot of activities. We've had the South Shore Choral Group here at Christmas time multiple times. We have presenters who come. We have people who come and do cards with them. We do travelogue presentations. Public Health was here today doing vaccines on a regular basis, but also doing some presentation on mental health, and a lot of fun with that. And
Can I break it? One of the things that we really wanted out of Corny was, instead of everybody always having to come to Washburn, and that's a complaint that we hear because not everybody can travel that far, or it's just harder to get a ride, whatever it might be. But we look at our sites as outposts for information and for getting services like the vaccinations that they get. They might have to turn in their card to get billed for that, or else Public Health has them for free. And so they don't have to go all the way to their doctor and try to find a ride to Ashland or Superior, whatever that might be. So one of our goals was not only to have a meal here, but also to get information, to get services out here, to get people connected with people that could help them have a better life and hopefully save them some money. And so that is definitely happening up here.
the social interaction is so important because isolation is also very detrimental in this country. COVID made it very apparent to many people, but seniors have always been in that particular slot of isolation. As they grow older, more dependent, but want to be independent. And so all of these services that are put in place is to help folks to stay independent and age in place with dignity, which is all what we want. Carolyn's going to talk to you about what we're running up against. And the other reason that we are here, we are asking for your support financially. We have all run up against the increase in costs, the lack of funding, and she can talk to you about how it works from the federal to the state to the county and how that works out for us.
So just briefly, as you all sitting on a board obviously know the government structure, and it gets kind of complicated, and it doesn't always work quite like we think. So the state cut our funding this year for all of our aging programs. And so that was a chunk of money for us. It was about $2,500 just for the meal program. The goal was to get them to put more money into the program because home delivered meals are getting to be more important. We are seeing, in fact, Bayfield County is going to be one of the oldest counties with people over 60 at least 60% here in the next couple of years. So we have an older population. We want them to stay where they want to live. And so trying to get things out to them is really critical. You know as well, the geography of Bayfield County, we are a huge land area. We have 6 routes going out Monday through Thursday. And we also have, we contract with Redcliffe and we contract with Cable to run meals for us as well. So we have 7 altogether actually, and but 6 are running most days. So with that in mind, our seniors have also been hit. Not only did we lose funding, but our federal funding is going to be stagnant for this next fiscal year. We did not get cut, which we're very, very thankful for. But our seniors in particular got hit. Energy assistance, they were going to cut that off completely, and a lot of people count on that to be able to make it through the winter. There was energy assistance that the checks just went out, but it wasn't nearly what they had gotten even last year. These are things that hold people just above water. Medicare, there were Medicare plans that were leaving the area and left a lot of people high and dry. Their premiums are going up. Their service for that is actually going down. We do have also too with food costs, with property taxes, all of those things have gone up for our folks. So they have more to expend and they have capped incomes. And so one of the things that we wanted to talk to you about tonight is we probably will have to increase our suggested donation. Right now, again, it is a donation and people can choose to donate or not donate, they're not forced to. But the folks that we serve, they pay their bills. It's a point of pride. It is, they don't just shirk on their responsibilities. So if we say, we're looking at a range of $3 to $5 if you'd like to contribute, they're gonna pay something. And it's just a matter of, if we raise that suggested donation too high, we might lose people because they feel like they can't pay. And so it's hard to help people to understand that they're not just shirking, that it's okay to not be able to donate. So one of our thoughts was, right now Iron River subsidizes some of their meals. So the seniors come in and they have meals twice a month, and they give $1.50 from their community organization for each meal, so that the folks don't have to pay as much. So that's just one way to do it. And that's our ask for you tonight is, would you consider that? Or doing something like that. Right now, last year, we had an average donation in Corny of $4.30, which is quite good. But we're very concerned about especially these next couple of years. People are gonna feel that pinch. And we just don't want to lose people because they feel like now they can't afford it. And I spend a lot of time on the phone or with people telling them, yes, you can, but it's really, really hard for people to accept that. So that is just something for you to consider, if that would be something you would be interested in doing.
We do surveys every year of the guests. They're anonymous, okay? And I really want to share with you and pass these around. You can look at them, because this is the testimony of what this means to the folks here. They're the ones who, we believe that this is their program. And as site managers, we're always asking them every week, what did you think of that meal? Good, bad, and ugly. We get it back to Carolyn.
Sometimes we have a clinker, I'm not gonna lie, we have a clinker, yes.
But we also ask for their input. What do you want to see? What do you want here? What is this? This is your program. So I would like to share these with you, and I'll collect them after we've had a chance to look at them. But they tell us what they want to eat, what they don't want to eat, what makes them interested in coming, okay? And these are our neighbors. These are our elders who have lived here, who are historic. Walter Martins, I love him, and he's been such a part of this community. They talk to us, they tell us, we check on them, but they check on us. It's a joyful place, I think, when they come. There's a lot of interaction, they're very welcome. And this is what we want to continue to see for our community, because someday we might be one of them. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for me? Thank you so much for your time and attention tonight, really appreciate it.
And if you want to see the smiles on these people's face, here is a real testimony to what we do, what we did at Christmas, and We had 55 people here at Christmas time, so.
If anybody wants to join us for a tailgate party
Next Tuesday.
next Tuesday, you can wear your Packer gear, maybe a morning band around your arm, whatever you feel is
Go
necessary.
Broncos.
But it's all good. Come and join us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, going into old business. Ken, the plan commission contract with NWRPC.
Yes, I mailed you the contract, copy of it, you got copies here for the rest of the crew. I already gave you copies. We're still good as far as drop dead date, 2029 is the expiration date, but we really need, to get involved. We're sitting here, that thing was written in 2009, so we're outdated on every just about graphic in there. It looks like we would probably need to do another survey to update the information, based upon the baselines that were established in the current plan. Dr. Lee at Northwest Planning, she's got pretty much all of February open to do a sit-down initiation type meeting. There's also a requirement that we need to plan in advance. We have to, we get to the public participation part and to bring it to the public during a normal scheduled meeting, not a special meeting, just a normal meeting, but you have to post 30 days in advance. So that month, we need to maybe a 45 to 60 day lead time, to get it publicly displayed in time. But pretty much, everybody's got the quotes, got the numbers, and I know that was put in the budget. And they're looking to get it signed now because they're gonna have a meeting at the end of, coming up this month, so that they can have that ready to plan into their scheduling and planning, if that's possible. So any questions?
Not really a question, but observations, a ridiculous amount of money for what they're doing.
And that's why I'd like to get an opening. There's some things I know we can do cheaper through Bayfield County. Graphics and the maps, Bayfield County actually gave me a quote. They could beat that by probably 100%. Because half the stuff that Northwest Planning wants to charge for, Bayfield County should be able to supply for free. The things that Bayfield County won't supply, they may not even need it, based upon what our requirements are to actually have for graphics, attachments and so forth. So that's the biggest cost I can see we can cut into.
Yeah, because I don't know if anybody did the math on the hours, but if they're charging like $90 an hour for what they're doing.
Yeah. And also the fact that there's a lot of things that once we can, basically find out what, they told me right now that the state has not changed the requirements. There's not been, the one thing that is flexible right now, or the one thing that's gonna be a speed bump, is how much will Bayfield County, with their new zoning, change any requirements, so we have to put in the binding guide. It's kind of like a mystery, where they're going with that. I know we did one survey, but I don't know where the county is going with any of that information, so. But if you want to wait another 30 days, 60 days, where you can, ask some more questions or get more information, I'm fine with that too.
Well, yeah, only because the way their contract is set up, it's basically like a set, it doesn't
firm
read,
price.
it doesn't read that we'll pay
Yeah,
based on how many hours. It says we're gonna owe them $15,000.
Yeah.
I mean, did everybody else, is that what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, I mean, if we can get some of that change, or if the planning commission with the county can do some of that, that would obviously be great, but then I would like the wording in their contract to reflect that, so that no matter what you do,
Yeah.
we still don't have to pay $15,000 for that.
Yeah, we can contract with them for just a fixed portion of that,
For time and material.
Yeah.
for time and material, whatever.
yeah, there's a reproduction cost in there too that was kind of questionable. It's like, okay, why can't we do that internally? If we have to basically, put in electrons and put it up on a website for everybody to view. Now we have a website that we can do that with. So that's another thing that can be considered. That's why I wanted to bring up for discussions, pick your brains here. But, so I think we can go back and really kind of barter with them, say, look, if we do this, how much can you drop the cost? Or take one person out for graphics, because we don't need that many graphics,
If you would like to do that, on behalf of us and the planning commission, that'd be great. If you wanna talk to them again about more of a time and materials estimate / contract and how that fits in with what you can do with the county. And then we can have it on the agenda next month again and see where
Yes.
we're at.
I guess I'm wondering why we can't do a lot of this ourselves. We did the first plan ourselves, did we not?
No, that was Northwest, most of it.
No. We had a lot of people, because when I first got appointed to the planning commission, there were still a lot of people on there that had written the original plan that were a big part of it, so.
Ready to keep it?
Yeah, Ray, Joni, Max.
The only person I see now is Mary Beth, is of the original founding group or whatever.
I didn't partake in the original.
No,
But I mean, I could see, I think the board really should sit down with that document and, it shouldn't just be you.
No,
And
I
planning,
agree with
you know,
that. I think
We should sit down with that document and see, I mean, I know there's some towns never even adopted a comprehensive plan, and so I know we did, and I don't know if we can opt out of that planning thing, or once you do it, you have to do it every 10 years, no matter what. But I know it's just some townships that just said, no. we're not
Berkshire
doing it.
just finished theirs, Portland just finished theirs. And I think we're probably a generation based on the dates of when they're completing versus when this one was completed.
Yeah.
But no, we can sit down and do a work group, or you could, next planning commission,
I guess-
plan to do that.
I guess that's what I would like to see us figure out what we can to do for ourselves. I mean, this would be just, okay, they're gonna do it for us. But then, are we gonna like the results that they come up? I mean, I really kind of think that,
We've identified probably close to 400, 500 things that need to be edited, changed, or updated.
okay, so you've done a lot of that work already, guys. I knew you were working on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of how much can we, harvest out of databases. There's like, during the government shutdown, she explained this to me, she said, we couldn't get any information. Because a lot of the sites they would go to, like public sites, but like the grab population numbers, and because we're under Bayfield County, we were not really a corporate. So we're kind of like, picking numbers out of Bayfield County to would reflect Town Bell. Like our aging or, base population, stuff like that. Other numbers like the school and so forth, I went to South Shore and they told me, gave me the numbers for the last 20-some years. Which kind of surprised me, is that we bid off on a school where the population's gone down, 50% of what it was when we were in school.
Mhm.
AI might come to our rescue for some of this too.
Yeah. So it's worth it, it's worth discussing. I think we should. bring it back.
Absolutely, yeah, we've got to do it. I mean, and yeah, I'm with you. I just think the board should sit down with you as, you can lead us
I agree.
and go through with it, and we just, we got to earn our salaries around here once in a while.
No, that's a good plan.
I'm in. I'll
Yeah,
help.
I'm on board.
And just, do we want to do this during a special session? Do we want to do it during the planning commission meeting?
Could be a joint meeting with the planning commission.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be. I don't have to-
When
And then,
It would be the first Thursday in February.
Yeah, there might be people here that thought, then we can get some community members in with special expertise and things like that. We're gonna need the sanitary district people involved, I'm sure of that,
Yes, their maps are off a little bit.
and stuff, so. Yeah, let's get to work on it.
All right.
That's what I think. I don't want to try to, we don't have the money in the budget anyway, really.
We do.
We do, we budgeted.
But I guess if we want to clarify, where are we starting? What are we doing? Like, you mentioned, and I'm not sure, I know as long as we have a planning commission, we do for sure have to update the plan. if it's not a commission anymore, which a lot of towns disbanded their plan commission after they implemented their comprehensive plan. But either way, if we have to update it by statute, for one, and then, I mean, what are we gonna do next? Like, I mean, what's your plan? Do you have anything like?
I
If we're gonna have
would
this
like,
meeting with
for us as a group, to sit down and go through what we've already identified. And then, the one thing would be, okay, she told me basically nothing's changed as far as documentation. So I don't know if there's a little fluff in the existing that we can, chop back on or ease back on. A lot of the Word docs, people have actually started working on those as far as updating, like the history of cornucopia and stuff like that, or the business district, what it consists of and so forth. So that's in the background. It's could be polished up by the planning commission. Doesn't have to be hired out. But I'd like to sit down and basically go step by step, chapter by chapter, saying, okay, do we need help with this? Or can we do this internally? And just kind of go from there. That gives us negotiation power, as far as, okay, we don't need to pay extra for this. How many hours can we cut off the, labor cost? It'd be basically a fact-finding meeting. It's like, let's get down to brass tacks and find out, what do we have to ask for help on?
Have you, as a planning commission, had any discussion on, like, what you've identified? Is that gonna be helpful to what you're doing, like, for your meetings or planning? Or is it just things that are required to be done?
It's actually, we've identified what needs to be done. When we look back at the existing data, cornucopia in town of Bell was on a downward slope on population. The school district, was in shrinkage. I think that this is one person from, from cornucopia or town of Bell in the South Shore School District. So it's just, that's, raw data that we have now that we can bring up to date. But basically, the big thing is, where do we stand as far as what does the population of the town of Bell think our future should be? That's what is going to have to be a survey. It's like, what do you want? Like all those little questions that we did, and Nancy actually gave them to me here, is use those questions again to see what do people feel that we have enough public land now? Because this document was written before the Swensons and Lost Creek Falls and all these public areas that we've developed or are being developed. Somebody might come back and say, yes, enough is enough. So those are things we need to know, because that's going to show which way we're going in the future. As far as, more resources, more public, land, do we need to do that, or do we have enough? I'm kind of curious. It's probably 5 acres per person, when you count in the federal, state, and county land. This is a very publicly owned township.
75%, I think. I remember when the county was here trying to buy some more land.
Yeah. And that gives us justification to say, look, that's not that's what we don't want to do when it's going to cut growth. Or it's going to cut tax income. We're getting pennies on the dollar when we're in the forest crop versus if it was into some type of residential status. So those are things that, need to be asked of the population, not for us to make a decision. We have to call and ask. So we have, the surveys, we just really regurgitate to see, using the old surveys as a baseline to see what the change is.
You could probably mail those out for $500.
Yeah, I'll put them on the website. Just give you your tax ID number so we know you're a property owner in the town of Bell. That'll give us all the information as far as the person and the property owner. So that's what we have on the next meeting for discussion.
Yeah, good.
So, do we want to just go to the next plan commission meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We plan for it to be longer.
What time do you meet?
5 o'clock
On Thursday.
on the first Thursday of the month.
And just be certain you have 3 or more board members may be present.
When you post it.
All right, Sounds good, just let us
That'd
know.
be like February 5th on that.
Just make sure you send out the agenda for us, so we reminder.
It'll be coming out this weekend.
All right. Streetlights,
Yes.
did you get anything on that?
It's a work in progress.
Are we thinking about adding streetlights?
Oh, yeah.
Were you not
See, I
doing
got a
something?
stop sign on my street.
Thank you for that.
Can't believe it.
You have a stop sign in your street?
Yeah, they put a stop sign on mine.
Do you use it?
Never used to be there before.
Do you use it?
Can I grandfather not stopping at it?
It's a blind spot.
They're not using the one by the Western Church coming down from your road.
That's where they put it.
They don't stop. Well,
I'll make sure I'll make sure I'll be able to stop. How's that?
All right, Harbor Commission savings account. At our last Harbor Commission meeting, we voted to transfer money, some of the Harbor Commission money into a account at Associated Bank. It would be a business money market account, because for the first 6 months, we get 3.5%. And I did have a conversation with Elena from the bank. And basically, the town board needs to approve that opening of that account. And then we can, the Harbor Commission can move some money.
And actually, that fund, it's really considered part of the general fund, but it's in the Harbor Commission, because at the end of the year, all funds are supposed to be transferred to the town, but it's earmarked for the dredging for the harbor. So it's really the board making that decision. It's not them transferring, it's the board doing it for the commission, keeping it in that, not fund or that designation.
Well, I'll move that we open a new account for the Harbor Commission.
I will second that motion.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded, and the Harbor Commission did vote to move $70,000 into that account, but being that there's not gonna be another meeting anytime soon, I would like to have the board move $60,000 into that account, because I found out that this is an introductory offer for 3.5%. In 6 months, that'll change. But as long as we bring in 10,000 new dollars, we will be eligible for whatever their new promotion is at that time. Otherwise, it's 0.1%. So, we can always add more if the Harbor Commission votes to do so or wants to do so. But until then, I thought we would hold 10,000 back for the next 6 months so that we can get another, promotional deal at that time. So, I'm just gonna take that liberty and say, we would make it, for your information, $60,000. So, the motion is made and seconded. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. I'll talk to them and,
And actually, I did that.
oh, okay. I don't have that copy.
But it was
All right. So we're going to do the 2026 election inspectors.
Each year, I am required to put out the list of election inspectors. And this year, that list is Joni Vaughn, Richard Dunn, Janice Olson, Pauline Calamateo, Jennifer Sauter Sargent, Linda Sautier, Nada Zukas, Gina Emily, Mary Beth Humans, Jackie Ide, Michael Monlock, Amy Exton. These are people that are on the list. And if for any reason I can't get enough inspectors, I have the ability or the right to go outside of this list too, but these are the main people for the inspectors.
Do we need a vote to approve that?
Yes.
I'll move we approve that slate of electors that Beth just read off.
I'll second.
The motion is made and seconded. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. All right, we are going to vote on going into a closed session, but before we do, is there any more public comment period? So we don't have to wait around until the end of our meeting? No? All right, we're gonna go into closed session. Thank you all for coming. Motion to go into closed session. Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say aye. No opposed.
Cool.